I don't know, maybe because you're people see on YouTube, but I'll speak to the devs on people like that most of the time. They're just normal people that you'd see in any other community. I find they always
No,
help you.
obviously the devs are, but like you run into like the fanatics of any community who
Oh,
like because there are so there Gentoo is it's fair to like it does have its community, but it's a very small community relative to like most of the other distros out there. So I've noticed that whenever I do anything involving Gentoo, there will always be those people that really love Gentoo who are like, he's actually talking about it. He's giving attention to Gentoo.
yeah, no, that's true. I say it's kind of weird for me because obviously I remember when Gentoo was as popular as Arches nowadays, so
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard for me to see that flip switch or make sense in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, Arch, I think a big part of the popularity is just the popularity it has amongst like the Linux YouTubers.
Yeah, like I say, it's a very easy distro to do. If you want something powerful and don't really want to learn too much, I'm not trying to say that horribly to any Arch user, but it's just so easy. You don't have to bother.
It is.
AUR's got you covered.
Yeah, it
Like
absolutely
when
is easy, yeah.
Yeah, I said like, I had my daughter when she was 9. I gave her a first laptop, and I said
Mm.
you can have it if you can install Arch on it. I mean, it's not difficult to install, and obviously that was before Arch install even existed.
Yeah, yeah.
Which but it does make me laugh every time I read a comment about someone saying how difficult it is, and I'm sitting there going, my kid don't even know, much more than how to use TikTok on her phone at how old she is now.
Mm.
But back at 9, she can install Arch Linux. It's like it's not that difficult. If you want to get involved and you want to learn, it's easy.
I think the thing now is it's not that it's difficult now, it's just when everything else is so easy, your perception of what is difficult if you've not seen what it originally was is it's very shifted in one direction. Like when
Yeah,
the most difficult thing is installing Gentoo, it's not like your ISP doesn't work with Linux. Like the challenges that exist now are far less, so the baseline is far higher, but people are the worst problem that someone is going to have is the worst problem that is the worst thing they've seen is the worst thing they've seen, basically. So if
I
they've never
that's it. I
seen how
think
bad it can be, like they don't know that it could be worse.
I think it's more we get a perception of how difficult something's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and we give up before we've even tried because we think it's going to be something like
Right.
using Gentoo for the thing. We've all got the meme, haven't we? Like, oh, the Gentoo user will be as soon as it's finished compiling. But even as a Gentoo user, I play along with that one. But
Mm-hmm.
really, it's fast as anything. Um, yeah, it's not as quick as installing something on Arch, but it's only like 5-10 minutes waiting.
Mm-hmm.
You're not waiting there all day like we say you are. But
Mm-hmm.
people won't use it because they think, oh, actually, it takes 38 days to do Rust, like my stream showed.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's more. I think we've got an idea in our head and we believe that rather than actually going to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, try something in the VM, see what you think about it. It only
Definitely,
takes
yeah.
a second to get QEM to work and have a
Yep.
little play.
The
If you
first
get
time
stuck as well.
The first time I did Arch, it was in a VM, and good thing I did that because I did make it. I think I made a petition mistake and things didn't boot. Um, that's pretty much the only. I would say when it comes to installing Arch, I think petitions are probably the one thing you can actually do wrong that is going to stop your system booting. The rest of it
Yeah,
is
I
just
think that's
forgetting
right.
commands.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we all forget it. Like, what was it I did? I did the Pentium 3, and even to this day, so I'm supposed to know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Set the kernel up, rebooted it, and I forgot to put network drivers in it. Normally wouldn't be a bother, but it takes a day to compile the kernel on that machine, so that
Right.
was a lengthy mistake. But that's it. It's like it's usually the mistake that you forgot to do along the way, and it not reading something or
Exactly. Yeah.
misreading something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worse blaming yourself than someone else, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Well, it's your system. You got to take responsibility for it. You got to realize what mistake that you made. There's no point sitting there. Most of the time, the mistake that was done is your mistake. It wasn't like a
It is, isn't
bug
it?
with the distro. There are cases where it can be, like with where Arch install would crash from the wrong text being entered, but most of the time, if something's wrong, it's not a problem with the distro.